Good morning, children. It's Monday and we're going to start with our vocab, looking at the 3 words that we have this week. So like always, I've got those sheets at the end that you can use and I'll send them to your mums and or dads, but you can just do them in your book as well so you know how to do it. So the first word you can see here is obtain. So I'm using these words thinking about our persuasive writing. So to obtain is to get, to acquire, to secure, to have something. We obtain something. And so I don't think it's a word we use a lot, but it's a really easy one to pick up because it just means to get it. So really try hard to use it. And it's a good one to think about when you're writing and persuasive writing. When you're doing persuasive writing, you want to use quite formal language. Don't just say you need to get it. But it's important that we obtain. It just sounds, it's almost a little posh, isn't it? If that's how you're trying to sound it in your letter. So that's the first one. The second one is to consider. And that means to think about. So you can be thinking about something before making a decision. So we need to consider this before we decide. To think about and be drawn towards a course of action. So consider what you might do, and to believe. I consider that you are all working really hard at home and I'm very impressed. So I believe, I consider, and is to believe what I'm thinking. I consider you to be working really hard. So again, that's a really good one for your persuasive writing. So you might, I consider it to be important that we think about our planet. I consider, I would like you to consider, a good one for a rhetorical question. Have you considered what effect this will have on the future? So think about how that might work. It's a good one to put in your head. And then the last one, dynamic, and this really matches with our art. So if you haven't started your art yet, you won't know what it means. We're going to be looking at dynamic sculptures. So it comes in different ways, but dynamic can be characterized by a constant change. Dynamic can be a meaning of force producing motion. So that's really the one we're looking at when we look at our dynamic sculptures. But you can also talk about people being dynamic. If you've got full of ideas and attitudes and new ideas and full of energy, then you might be called dynamic, a dynamic person. But we're focusing on use of the word dynamic, meaning a force producing motion. So motion means to move. Okay. So if you look here, you have the sheets that follow, and lots of you have been just doing it brilliantly in your book because we're really looking at drawing it, definition of it, synonyms of it through the week and antonyms, and try and have it handy. Maybe put it on your spelling sheet because it will be a good one to use in your writing. Dynamic and obtain. So hope that helps. Well done, everybody.